Hey everybody, so it's June, happy Pride Month to you, and every Pride Month the haters are gonna hate and they're going to clobber us with the clobber texts, and so, well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna non-violently clobber them right back. Are you ready? First Corinthians was written by a man named Paul, and he wrote it in Greek. And in First Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9, he uses a new word, Arsenokoitai. We don't have any evidence that anybody used this word before Paul, and it is used very infrequently after Paul. This makes this word very difficult for us to translate. Now, it comes from two different words, one meaning arsen, meaning man, and koitai, it comes from a word that means bed. So basically, we think this means man better. Now, many conservatives say that this is a denunciation of homosexuality, and many conservatives would be wrong, and I'm about to show you why. Many scholars today think that Paul got this word, Arsenokoitai, from the Septuagint, which is the Greek version of the Bible that was written around 300 BC. Now, Paul may have looked to biblical passages like Leviticus chapter 18, which has arsen and koitai relatively close together, and he just put those words together to come up with Arsenokoitai. Here is Leviticus chapter 18 in the Septuagint. So here we have Leviticus chapter 18, verse 22 from the Septuagint, and here you see the word arsenos, a man, and koitin down here in a marriage bed. So many conservatives will say, there you go, Paul was referring to Leviticus chapter 18, which uses arsenokoitai, and clearly arsenokoitai is only about homosexuality. Well, conservatives would be wrong on many levels, including the level of the Bible. Because arsenokoitai is used 4 other times in the Bible, and it doesn't refer to men having sex with men, it refers to men having sex with women. One place we find it is in Judges chapter 21, verses 11 through 12. Here you have Judges 21:11, which talks about a woman knowing the marriage bed of a man, or a woman knowing the arsenokoitai. The other place in the Septuagint where a woman knows an arsenokoitai is in Numbers 31:17 through 18. Here in Numbers, it talks about a woman who knew the marriage bed of a man, or a woman who knew the arsenokoitai. So here we find that the word that Paul used in 1 Corinthians 6:9 is not homosexuality as we understand it today, because arsenokoitai in the Septuagint can mean men who have sex with men, and also it can mean men who have sex with women. So what does the word arsenokoitai mean? Well, we know that it doesn't mean homosexuality as we understand it today, but we don't know for sure what it means, but we do have some very good guesses. In the Numbers and Judges passage, women didn't have power, they didn't have agency, they were treated as property by their arsenokoitai. This, unfortunately, was the way the world was in the ancient patriarchal world. So what Leviticus is saying is, don't arsenokoitai a man as you would a woman. Don't treat a man as if they don't have agency or power, because men aren't supposed to be treated as property, whereas women can be treated as property. Now, a great way for you to shame a man in the ancient patriarchal world was to force sex acts upon him. It was a way to shame him, much like you hear about prison rape today. So whatever arsenokoitai means, we know that it doesn't mean homosexuality as we understand it today. It doesn't mean two men living in a same-sex committed relationship based on mutual consent. For more on this, I highly recommend David Gushie's book, Changing Our Minds, and Christy Perdue's book, Included in Christ. God bless, and have a happy Pride.